had a chance to meet the marchers and all of the supporters. Sometimes we need inspiration from others who share our dreams and our hopes. You never know when your presence will inspire somebody else. I needed you now. You march not for yourselves, but you march for many others. Some who can't march anymore because their legs will not carry them. Some you march for are not here with us anymore, but you march for them. Yes, and you also march for those who have not yet arrived. I'm so inspired to be here at this church. It means so much to me because I remember when Martin Luther King made that speech. Because we're dealing with truth in history, I have to tell you this. That many people, his friends, Martin Luther King friends, did not support him on this stand against the war in Vietnam. In fact, there were those who were close to him say, Martin, don't do it. There were those who say that you are a preacher and you should stay in the pulpit and don't deal with international issues. Leave that to the diplomats. Leave that to the politicians. The words he said was this: I have fought against segregation too long, now to segregate my conscience. He says that the violence that we do over in Vietnam is no different from the violence that we do here in these United States. And I must stand up and condemn that violence as well, even though it's our own country. There are some people who believe that our country, you support them whether they are right or wrong. How do we support wrong? Is it right to support wrong? Yes, I went to Vietnam. Not in a uniform. But I went with some who had been in uniform, who carried their dog tags back. Left them at the U.S. Embassy there in Saigon. Yes, I was with them. And we marched to the U.S. Embassy there in Saigon. And we were met with a flurry of tear gas. They tear gassed us with our own canisters made in the USA. And so I jokingly turned to one of my friends and said, don't complain, this is your tax return. I've been arrested 27 times here in the U.S. fighting for freedom. Following Martin Luther King, he was my inspiration. So I close with this. First of all, we're going to have another march here in September of next year. It's going to be the Children's March. It will be the end of the decade for nonviolence, 21st century. But when that decade ends, we're going to start another decade, and then another decade. In fact, we're going to have a century of nonviolence. We're going to train young people from all over the world. So we want you to bring your college students and your high school students now with you next year, September, at the UN Peace Day. So we can make sure that we have a global nonviolent community. We want people represented from every country there. We're going to speak to the UN, like we spoke to the UN today. We're speaking to the world today, saying this is what we want for our children. One directly affects all of us indirectly. We are one people. We may have many different colors, maybe different creeds. Ultimately, we all one. We are indivisible. We cannot be separated. When you hurt, I hurt. Because we are part of each other. That's why they're marching. Yes, I know why you're marching. Yes. Yes, they may not know, but I know. They may not report it in the newspaper, but I know why you're marching. Yes. My final comment is this. I was with Martin Luther King on April 4th, 1968, at the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. In fact, I still have my key to my hotel room. Martin Luther King was in 306, and my room was 206. I have my key. I still have my key. Yes. And the last words I had with him, we were in his room that morning. And he was telling me about the press conference and giving me the information he wanted me to have when I went to Washington, D.C., because I was a coordinator of the Poor People's Campaign. His last campaign. I must confess to you, I didn't want to go on the campaign. No, I had a nice job working for the American Friends Service Committee, the Quakers, you know. And the thing that made me make up my mind, he said to me, he said, Bernard, we're going for broke. This may be my last campaign. He had a feeling that he was coming to the end. So this last day I was with him, we were planning for the Poor People's Campaign press conference in Washington, D.C., so we could announce officially the campaign. Martin Luther King said to me, it had nothing to do with our discussion. He said, Bernard, the next movement we must have is we must internationalize and institutionalize nonviolence. A comma. We finished the conversation later. Okay. 5 hours later, he was assassinated on the balcony of the Lorraine Hotel. So I want to say to you, congratulate you. Keep marching. I want you to march until the psychological walls of violence defense fall in the minds of those perpetrators of war in the world. I want you to keep marching. Don't stop marching. March till the mountains bow to you. When you walk through those hills, I want the trees to bend over and wave at you. Keep on marching. March until the sun rises, until the sun sets. Keep marching, whether it's in the sunshine or whether it's in New York in the rain. Keep marching.